Hi everyone, Jeff Johnson, creator of WeatherMaker. I'd like to demo multiple moons and multiple suns for you. Let's get started. So the WeatherMaker script has got two new properties, the suns and moons properties. Suns is a list, but it's a list of one, and I have not added support for multiple suns yet, but this infrastructure would let me do that in the future. Let's take a look at some of these properties. Let's fly up and get a better look at the sun here. Okay, so these are the transform light and mesh renderer. That's simply set from this sun object here. Render hint fast will turn it into a very low quality sun for a little bit of shader speed, but the shader's pretty efficient even still, so it shouldn't really matter. As a side note, the sun is now its own separate mesh renderer. I needed to move it out of the sky sphere in order to better support multiple moons. So now I've got the sun in its own mesh. The nice thing about this is that the sun rendering logic is now out of the sky sphere, so the sky sphere is even more efficient. And if you're not looking at the sun, it doesn't have to render any of the sun logic. Orbit Y degrees was moved over from the sky sphere, I believe, or the day-night cycle, one of those two, and lets you spin the sun in the sky, allowing it to orbit over a different part of your scene. Scale will make the sun bigger. I wouldn't suggest making it too much bigger than the default. Let's add some clouds so you can see what light power does. Light power will, as you can see, lower the sun's lighting power, and as you raise it higher, increase it. Actually, that's the light multiplier, excuse me. So light multiplier is just a way to increase or decrease the sun's intensity. Light power is just a way to tweak how the radius of the light spreads out. As that light power approaches a small number, it lights the whole sky, and as it increases, it lights a smaller and smaller radius. Tint color allows you to tint the sun, so if you want it to be a different color, you can do that. This does not change the light color. That's set on the light of the sun right here, but you can tint how it looks in the sky without changing the light that it emits. The tint intensity will obviously make it more of a tint effect. An ambient light multiplier is ignored for the sun because it's obviously a directional light, so there's no ambient there. But it uses the same data model as the moons, which I will open up for you now. I've got two moons going on here, Mars and the Earth's moon. So let's get them showing up in the sky. We'll turn the clouds off so their moons are easier to see. There's Earth's moon there, and if we spin to the other side of the sky, I've got Mars. Mars is a lot dimmer, and Earth's moon, of course, a lot brighter. So let's put the clouds back and you can see what the moon properties do. So the render hint fast right now is ignored for the moons, but you can spin the moon in the sky just like the sun, and it will spin around the y-axis. Orbit type from Earth is the only supported orbit type. Scale of the moon, you can make the moon larger. Let's make the clouds light so you can better see the nice large moon in the sky. It's kind of fun. I wouldn't suggest making it too huge because it might start intersecting with your scene. It is right up against the far plane, but you can make some interesting moons there with increasing the size. Light power increases the light that the moon emits. Same with the sun. As you increase that light power, that intensity close by will increase. Light multiplier increases the light across the entire scene. Tint color, you can give your moon different tints as well. Increase that tint intensity. And then of course the ambient light, as you increase that, the whole scene lights up. Let me look down here at the bottom. You can see that it gets pretty bright. And now we're down to minimal ambient light there. Keep in mind the weather maker script, or the day-night cycle, I believe. No, it's weather. Sky sphere has ambient colors in it. So between those and the moons, that's going to be your ambient lighting. I've got the second moon here, which is Mars. So let's take a look at that. Now it's pretty dim right now. Its light multiplier is low, but we can ratchet that up if we want. But I figured Mars would be further away. To be real accurate, you could lower that scale, and now we've got kind of a nice dim planet up there. But I made it a little bigger so it's more obvious in the sky. So that's pretty much all there is to multiple moons. At some point I will support multiple suns, and when I do that I will put a note in the change log, and then you can add additional suns to that suns array. Thanks for watching. Please send any questions to support@digitalruby.com, and I appreciate you using WeatherMaker. Have a great day.